Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, A Whole Ton Of. I want to share with you all the modifications and accessories that we got immediately after taking delivery of our Tesla Model Y Car DT. I'll go through each one by one and I'll try to provide a description as well as the cost and time if it was a modification. I will provide links in the description below to all the products that we bought as well as all the shops that we took our car to. Alright, so we have a whole ton of stuff to get through, so let's get started. First thing on our list is PPF. Before we bought the Tesla, we noticed that a lot of Tesla owners actually chose to wrap their cars in PPF because they wanted to protect the paint, but also because the front bumper is a little bit more unique than other bumpers since it doesn't have a grille. And for those that aren't familiar with PPF, PPF stands for paint protection film, and essentially it's there to help protect against scratches, rock chips, or even paint swirls that you can get from car washes. And so if you don't know, we took delivery of our Model Y in Kansas City, Missouri, which is about 3.5 hours away from where we live. Because we had to drive all the way back, we wanted to get PPF installed in Kansas City so that we don't take any risk on a 3.5 hour drive back. So we wanted to get Expel PPF, the Ultimate Clear Bra, installed, which is basically just an invisible film over your paint. But when we called around to get quotes, we got quotes of around $5,500 and above. So as you can imagine, after spending all the money on the car and then taxes and fees, we didn't really want to spend more money on getting the full car wrapped. So we decided to go the route of wrapping the most vulnerable parts. We took it to Cornerstone Tint in Kansas City, and they wrapped the front bumper, the front fenders, the hood, and all 4 doors for about $2,300. A few weeks later, once we actually had the car home, we realized that we still wanted to protect the rest of the car because it's still vulnerable. So we ended up finding an official Expel installer near us. They're called Prestige Window Tint, and they're in Springdale, Arkansas. And he offered us a great deal to wrap the rest of the car, which was the pillars, the back fenders, the trunk, and the back bumper. He only charges around $1,800. So if you're keeping track of how much we spent just shy of $4,100 to wrap the whole car, and we saved about $1,400 by splitting it up between 2 installers. Overall, the full installation took about 3 days if you combine the time between the 2 installers. Also, quick reminder, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, gently press that like button, and if you aren't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe so you guys can keep track of future videos. Thank you. Next up on the list is window tint. So at first, we weren't actually planning on getting window tint, but we were kind of convinced once they showed us the demo of what Expel can do. So I always thought tint was only for privacy reasons or for blocking out any glare or things like that. But it turns out tint can also be 100% clear, but also block heat. So the people at Cornerstone Tint actually showed us a demo of how well the Expel XR Prime Plus tint works. We ended up getting 35% tint on all the passenger windows and then the top glass. We actually opted in for the Expel Prime XR Plus because of the demo that they showed us. The Prime XR Plus is really good at heat rejection, and if you check out their website, they actually claim that they can block around 98% of infrared heat. Whenever we drive a car that's not ours, we notice a huge difference with the amount of heat that we can feel in that car compared to when we have the heat rejection film. It cost us about $800, and it took probably about half a day, maybe a day, but it was really combined with that first PPF installation, so total that took 2 days, but window tint probably doesn't take as long. As you might know, Teslas have huge, beautiful screens, so you definitely want to make an investment and protect them. That's what's next on our list, a screen protector. So we originally bought a screen protector from Amazon. If you're looking for a screen protector for yourself, check out the link in the description. That's the one we bought. We made sure that it was matte because those are best with blocking out glare. Once we picked up our car from the PPF installer in Kansas City, it turned out that they wrapped our screen in a clear matte wrap, and that basically acts as a screen protector. So we were able to return the one that we got from Amazon, but if you wanted to buy it yourself, it would only be about $20. But as I said, we ended up getting ours for free. So once upon a time, Model Ys and Model 3s used to be made with the center console that's piano black, and it was terrible. It was basically a fingerprint magnet, it got scratched up easily, and overall it was just an eyesore. So what we cavemen did back in 2020 when we picked up our old Model Ys, we ended up wrapping that center console to protect from any scratches and fingerprints alike. This probably isn't so much of a problem now with the new center console on new Model Ys, so you'll probably end up saving money by not having to buy this wrap. But if you do have an older version of Model Y or Model 3, you'll definitely want this wrap, and it's definitely inexpensive to keep your car looking nice. Our PPF installer actually wrapped that for free too, but if you wanted to buy one, the link is in our description, and it will cost around $35. And fun fact, if you guys didn't know, when the Model 3 originally came out, it came with a chrome trim. It turned out that a lot of people didn't like that chrome trim, and they actually opted to chrome delete, which just means that they wrapped that chrome in a matte black. Well, Tesla kind of learned what the popular opinion was, and on their Tesla Model Ys, they started delivering those with chrome delete trim. So basically no chrome, all matte black. What's weird to me though, is that it feels like they forgot that they had their T logo in chrome as well as all the badges all around the car. I wanted to get rid of that last bit of chrome on my Model Y, so I actually asked my PPF installer if they can wrap my T Tesla logo and the badges in matte black. They actually threw that in for free when we opted in to get the tint. But if you wanted to do it yourself, I'm sure it'd be really inexpensive to buy matte black wrap. It would just take time and patience. And up next, originally we were thinking that we wanted to get aftermarket wheels. We didn't really want to buy the $2,000 induction wheels because we wanted to stand out and not look like the rest of the Teslas out there. Don't get me wrong, those induction wheels do look nice, but I wanted to be a little bit different. So we were looking at aftermarket wheels. Those still start around about $1,500 going up to multiple thousands. So we found that there was an option to actually powder coat. Because we live in an apartment, we couldn't really do it ourselves. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have tried and are successful, but we ended up finding a shop nearby in Lowell, Arkansas called Starwood Customs, and they actually powder coated the rims gloss black for us. So we knew we wanted to get black wheels to match the black trim on the Model Y, but powder coating them was a nice option because it was a fraction of the cost and it still makes the car stand out and look nice. All we had to pay was for the powder coating because we already had the Gemini wheels that come with the car for free. It only costs about $150 per wheel, so in total you're looking at about $600 to powder coat all 4 wheels. The guys at Starwood Customs did an amazing job, but keep in mind if this is your only car, you're going to be out of commission for about a week because they have to sandblast all the material off and then powder coat it and then bake it a few times to make it stick. So the Gemini wheels come with aero covers, but if you guys ever pop them off, you would see that the silver Gemini wheel actually doesn't have any center caps and it doesn't have any lug nut covers. So when you remove the aero wheel, it's actually kind of ugly to look at. We realized that and looked around for some center caps and lug nut covers. It turns out that you can get these in black and red, which matched our car perfectly, and it actually made the wheel look more complete. The link for these are in the description below. It only costs about $20, and I think it's well worth it if you're planning on exposing that Gemini wheel. Next up on our list, painted brake calipers. So I always love the look of painted brake calipers because it really makes the rest of the wheel pop as well as the color on the car pop. I chose to go with red because it was on par with the theme of red and black that we were already going with. The same shop that did the powder coating of the wheels actually was able to paint the brake calipers too. They painted all 4 calipers red, and it cost us about $300 total for all 4. The shop would probably take around half a day to do it because they definitely have to let it dry. And for those that are DIY, it's definitely possible to paint your brake calipers yourself. It's just we live in an apartment, so we don't have a workspace like that. The painted brake calipers didn't feel complete though without having actual Tesla lettering on it. So we were able to find decals on Amazon that had the Tesla font and the Tesla lettering, so we can throw those on. That should withstand the elements, but you can also paint over them with a clear gloss so that they stay on the brake caliper. And we asked the shop if they can throw them on while they had the brake calipers off. They agreed to do it. The only downfall about that is that they didn't choose the size that we wanted. Basically, the set comes with a bunch of different variations of size of the Tesla word, and they chose a larger size, so it kind of looks funky. You can tell that it's a custom job, but I think it still looks nice and it gives that finishing piece. The decals only cost around $17, and if you wanted to get those, they're also in the description below. Floor mats. We ended up buying the complete set of the 3D Max Spider floor mats. We've heard great reviews of them all around, and from our experience, they're a great fit and they really give an extra nice touch to the car. True story, but we actually had some people come in the car and compliment our floor mats, which is pretty unusual in my opinion. The full set covers about every piece of floor that you can find in your Tesla Model Y, including the front, the trunk, and all of the sub-trunk floors. It also has this weird Velcro backing that allows it to stick and stay in place once you put it down. We ended up using it on our road trip all around the country. We went through desert, snow, and sand, and it held up against all of those elements. When we got back and washed our car, we didn't see anything on our carpet itself. It costs a little bit more than $500 for the full set. The link is below. But also keep in mind, I think it was a bit pricey, so you can look at other competitors. Ideally, the perfect price for these would be around $300. Next up, USB storage. So in order to store all the Sentry mode events as well as the dash cam footage, you need some kind of USB flash drive or hard drive. I ended up buying a 128GB Samsung flash drive that's actually very tiny, as you guys can see. It was advertised to be able to read and write 4K video, which is way more than enough since the dash cam quality is below that, but definitely look into the specs to make sure that you're getting something that is very performant. So far with 128GB, I've only had to clear it out about 3 months in, but that's also dependent on how much Sentry mode footage you have or if you even have Sentry mode on. Also, when you opt in for a bigger storage like we did, you'll have to clear it out and worry about the space less often. And also because of the size, it's very inconspicuous and probably hard to find if somebody was breaking in and looking for it. Having to hide your USB flash drive is a thing of the past though, because with the new Model Ys and Model 3s, the USB port is actually in the glove box, which you can secure with a passcode. This 128GB tiny flash drive only costs us about $20, and you can check out the link in the description. If you spend a lot of money on a good looking car like the Tesla Model Y, you probably want to spend a little extra to get supplies that will keep it looking clean and shiny. My go-to supplies for cleaning are my water blade, my absorbent towels, and the seat cleaning spray from Car Guys. I usually go to the car wash bays weekly just because we live in an apartment and we don't have our own hose. For all of these items, it will be about $40, and then you can buy your own soap and all of that, but I think this is the bare minimum that you would need. I also kind of want to explore the no water options, so I'll probably be making a video about that in the future. On our last road trip that spanned about 4,600 miles, we brought our 2 dogs along, which one's a medium size, one's a larger size, and we needed something to protect our seats. Our seats would have been a mess and definitely damaged if we didn't have anything to throw over them. So if you have dogs and you're a dog parent like us, you should definitely invest in a dog hammock. Basically, it clips over the headrest and the back seat, and it keeps your seat safe from all the fur, all the accidents that might happen, and any other scratching and clawing that may occur. Ours costs around $50, and you can check it out in the link below. There's also different versions that you can throw in the back of the trunk or even on the front seat if you want to ride with your buddy. Don't forget to also include seatbelts because you want your little pal safe. Did you know that Teslas have camp mode? Well, combine that with an air mattress that fits in your back seats, and you'll have a very comfortable camping experience. This air mattress folds pretty small, and it fits in the smallest sub-trunk that the Model Y has. And it also only takes about 5 minutes to set up. It costs us only about $60, and as you may have guessed, it's also linked in the description below. If you're like me, and you use your mobile charger to charge your Tesla, but you hate having it on the ground and not having it organized, there's an easy solution. You don't have to buy the official charger to have it hang on the wall. There's actually wall cable organizers that you can buy on Amazon. It only takes 1 screw to put up, so it's an easy installation. And not only that, but it also has a holder for your actual charger. It costs us about $20, and it's also linked below. So to wrap it up, those are all the modifications and accessories that we did when we got our car. But also, I want to make you aware of all the different accessories that Tesla might give you and might also be holding out. So like I mentioned before, we actually use a mobile charger, and that's included with the car. I know it might sound dumb because how else would you charge your car? You just bought this $50,000, $60,000 car. Why would they not give you a charger? But for those that were confused, you do get your own. It comes with a standard NEMA 515 adapter, which means you can plug it into any standard wall outlet, but it would be a very slow charge. What's nice is that it actually is an adapter, so if you wanted to, you can buy the NEMA 1450 adapter, which is the outlet that dryers would use, to get a lot faster of a charge. And speaking of adapters, they actually give you a J1772 adapter, which is useful for some of the electric car chargers that aren't superchargers, specifically ChargePoint. If you've been to a Whole Foods and you've seen electric car chargers, they're probably ChargePoint, and you can use this adapter so that you can charge your car while you're shopping. When getting the Tesla, I didn't know much about the different electric car charging stations, but I realized that J1772 chargers aren't the most common because Electrify America is actually building up an infrastructure that's a lot larger, and they use a CCS charger. That sucks because Tesla actually doesn't currently have a CCS adapter. You can buy a lot of third-party ones that I've seen mixed reviews about, but until Tesla actually builds in a CCS port or gives an adapter, we'll kind of have to stick to our superchargers. A lot of you guys that are familiar with it might also suggest that you can get the CHAdeMO charger. That costs $550. I don't know if I really want to invest in that, given that a lot of the chargers that have CHAdeMO, they only have one CHAdeMO with 3+ CCS chargers. So really the CCS charger is going to be the most abundant and the easiest to find across the country. Lastly, the new thing about Model Y is that they came standard with the wireless charging. The Model 3s didn't come standard with it, but now the new versions do have it. And even the new refreshed Tesla Model X and S have wireless charging too. But I really do think you should consider it an accessory because it's very nice to have and it actually charges your phone very fast. And so with that, I also want to mention some accessories that would have been nice if Tesla included with this $50,000 purchase that I made. It would have been nice to have the garage door opener hardware installed. Basically what they use is HomeLink, and if you wanted to get that on your Model Y, you actually have to pitch in an extra $300. In addition to that, another nice to have would have been a key fob. I know the Model S and X come with a key fob, but I've noticed a lot of issues lately with my passive entry on my phone not working. If you wanted to buy a key fob on the side, they'll actually end up costing you an extra $150 each. So keep that in mind. They might not be as useful for the Model 3 and Y since they have phone entry, but I still think it's a nice backup to have. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to gently press that like button to share some love. Also, leave any comments below about any modifications or even accessories that you got to try to make your Tesla your own. I know it's getting harder and harder now that more people are adapting to Tesla, and it's always nice to make yours unique. But anyways, until the next video, I hope you guys have a great day.